Is anyone listening? Welcome. This is Dear Aliens. I am your host, Molly, and honestly, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. And today, we're just going straight in. I am dropping for you the first ever Molly Halsey Christmas Watchlist. Think of like ABC Families, or sorry, Freeform's 25 Days of Christmas. No. Screw that. That list is garbage. This is some of the best content Christmas watching you could ever consume. I've planned it out for you. The podcast drops today, December 1st, so you can get started. If you're behind, don't worry. Some of the days you're just watching episodes from specialty TV shows. So, if you miss it, just like stack it in with another like TV episode. Watch 2, take the hour. Watch 3, take the hour and a half. Like your choice, do it your way. So if you're not starting on the first day, that's okay. But I highly, highly recommend watching every single movie on this list. Even if you don't make it like in order, watch every single movie on this list, because I am sure there are going to be some movies on here you have never heard of, you have never seen. And okay, you'll be able to find the list on my Instagram. My handle is Marge Halsey, and I'll post it today. I'll also add it as like a permanent story, and coming soon is the Instagram page, probably in the next couple of days. So you can find the list there as well. So if you're like, oh, I missed it, or I forgot to screenshot it, you will have a place to find it. Okay. December 1st for the Dear Alienz Christmas Watchlist. Where are we starting? We have to hit it with a classic. If you start off the Christmas season right, and that is by starting with Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. Grandma got run over by a reindeer. Like, if you don't know this classic, this is what all of the good in the world has been bottled down into this movie. Imagine if your grandma got run over by a reindeer. I loved my grandma. Like, I dare Santa to run my grandma over. You're gonna run her over and then kidnap her? And then my greedy rich aunt is gonna try and take everything? Like the drama, the action. Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer is the best way to start the Christmas season. I might make my roommates watch it tonight. No choice. It's just that good. What are we watching on December 2nd? Alvin and the Chipmunks. You can't not enjoy an Alvin and the Chipmunks moment. Like, it's the greatest time of year. Yes, that was an Allie and AJ reference, but Alvin and the Chipmunks, iconic. Those boys, they knew how to ask for gifts. And that's the thing, is like, I am a gift expert. So when I was watching that movie for the first time as a child, I was like, dang, these chipmunks, like, they really knew what to ask for. And I think that they helped me become an expert in asking for Christmas gifts, because it's actually crazy the amount and the types of Christmas gifts that arrived from Santa in our home through my childhood. How about the year my mom was like, and this is why I was like, Santa is real. My mom made it very clear. She was like, we cannot afford American Girl dolls. And I was like, I'm never going to have one. What happens that year? 2 show up. What happens the next year? Like, American Girl doll after American Girl doll. There was the year that an entire, like, 6 by 8 foot train table with an entire city was built in the middle of the night, in the middle of our living room. Like, it literally appeared as if it had been magic. Like, we knew what gift giving was in our home. But Alvin and the Chipmunks, they really were like, did I ask for the right things? Do I know what I'm doing? December 3rd, that is a Saturday. And Saturday nights, if you're not going out, that's what movie marathons are for. And we're going to hit it with a classic, the Santa Claus Marathon. Are you kidding me? I've talked about it before, like Tim Allen Till I Die. Like, I can't help but love him. The Santa Claus TV series that's dropping on Disney Plus, like, it's like they knew I was asking for it. So it's like, you're going to take this day, watch all 3 movies. You have the first one, the Santa Claus. You have the Santa Claus 2, the one where he has to find a wife, and the Santa Claus 3, the Escape Clause with Jack Frost. And who's playing Jack Frost? Martin Short. Oh my! I don't even. It was like, we talk about how sequels don't get better and better. I'm sorry. I think that like the Santa Claus that hits, like it's kind of like how Twilight hits. Like it's an OG. It just hits different, but the Santa Claus 2, I'm like, ooh, this one's a little bit spicy. The Santa Claus 3, that is like, we're time traveling now. We're thinking of ultimate like worlds, ultimate scenarios. It's a totally different world. I'm impressed upon impressed. This series better not disappoint me. I'm not like the biggest fan of Christmas, but I do really love a Christmas movie. I don't know what. I don't know. December 4th, what are we watching? A Disney Channel original movie, The Ultimate Christmas Present. And if you're like, why does that sound familiar? Brenda Song? You know when Brenda Song was like, did everyone forget that like Brenda Song was doing stuff before Sweet Life of Zach and Cody? She was in Get a Clue? The Ultimate Christmas Present? Like, stuck in the suburbs with. Why are we doing the disrespect to Brenda Song, acting like her gift to us was Sweet Life of Zach and Cody and Wendy Wu Homecoming Warrior? Like, she has been doing stuff forever. Ultimate Christmas Present. That's a Disney Channel original movie about these 2 girls living in the suburbs, and they just want snow on Christmas. And they like get this device and it like brings snow to their town, but then it's like, oh no, the machine's out of control. Is this going to ruin Christmas? Is Santa not going to be able to get here, or is Santa going to show up and fix everything with his Christmas magic? Tune in to find out. That's not an actual ad. I just wrote that like off the top of my head, but it's pretty accurate. December 5th, we are watching Barbie in the Nutcracker. We all know that Mattel, Barbie, like they know how to put out a movie. Barbie, Princess and the Pauper, Barbie as Rapunzel, Barbie in the Nutcracker. Like, if you are someone you're like, I could never sit through the ballet version because there's no words, this is the version for you. Barbie in the Nutcracker is the perfect movie to play while, the fire is burning. Maybe decorate the tree if you already don't have your tree decorated. It's just glorious vibes. And the thing is, like, we have a lot of Barbie options. Barbie also did a Christmas Carol, but it's just kind of like, we're trying to do things that are going to keep us in the good Christmas spirit. And Barbie and the Nutcracker, like when that Nutcracker becomes a prince at the end and you're like, oh, he's so handsome, oh, it's Ken, it's just like full circle. Like, so good, so good. December 6th, we're taking it old school, and by that I mean claymation. And I know some people hate claymation. They're like, it's creepy. I am not on board for a puppet, but I am on board for claymation. We are watching Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Like, don't tell me you don't remember this classic. It's so good. Like, Burgermeister Meisterburger, like that man, he hated toys. That teacher who put her life on the line to make sure those kids got toys because she was falling in love with a ginger who would eventually become Santa Claus. Yeah. Can we talk about the fact that that movie made the statement that Santa Claus is a ginger? Like, can we talk about that for a second? Like, are we just all out here like pretending like we didn't know that? Or like what? Because I don't know, that's just what that movie told me. December 7th, we're going so crazy. And obviously, like, we're going so crazy. I don't even say something that's that crazy, but we're taking it so far out of claymation, kids' movies. We're going to 4 Christmases. We need a moment with Reese Witherspoon. We're going to do, couple wants to break up, but they got to go visit their divorced parents, all 4 of them separately, all within like the 2 days of Christmas. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't know that pain at all. But there's something so enjoyable about that movie. And maybe it's because it's not like it's a realistic depiction of the holidays, but I think it gives a comedic insight into how difficult the holidays can be in a really palatable, funny way. Because it's like, hey, we're not always going to all be having a fun time all the time at the holidays. It's like if we can find a way to laugh about it and be like, oh, well, we're all having this moment, it's a good moment. Plus, that is definitely a mulled wine night. I don't know, something about that movie just like makes you want to like sit down with a warm glass of mulled wine. I don't know, that's just the vibes that it gives off. So you're gonna spend that night with Four Christmases, and then December 8th, you know, it's only December 8th, but like, let's get crazy. Like Hannah Montana said, you're gonna dive into a Victorious episode. Yep, we're going to take a visit to Victoria Justice, Liz Gillies, Ariana Grande, Andre Leon Thomas. If you don't know who that man is, I've already talked about him before. Like, Google him. Like, let's show him some respect. This is a Victorious episode where Andre writes the Christmas song, and his teacher is like, this song sucks. You get like an F. And he's like, oh my gosh. And then Psychowitz, also the voice of Plankton, in case you didn't know that, Psychowitz is like, oh, we're gonna do a secret Santa, and like you have to get a good gift. If you like flake out, basically you're a loser. And someone like gives Sinjin a cricket, but then Tori and Jade and Kat sing the song in the hallway and invite the entire school and the teacher, and they sing Andre's song, and they're like, ooh, this song is so good. And then the teacher is like, all right, this song is all right, I guess. You could have like a passing grade. Like, but that song, like, that is a like, let's talk about putting together like a list of Christmas songs that are like modern. And by that I don't mean like the classic ones we always listen to, like songs that have come out in like the last 10 or 15 years that aren't new renditions of songs that have already been written. And Victorious, while that show was crazy and whack and did Victoria Justice so dirty, they knew how to write a song. And I won't disrespect on that. December 9th, because we just left off with Victorious, which is a crazy show in and of itself, we're going to keep with the crazy theme, and we're watching Office Christmas Party. Because first of all, it's something that never happens in any ever real office, despite if we ever even wished or wanted it. But it's got, okay, who doesn't love a Jen Aniston vehicle? Jason Bateman playing siblings? Like, I'm on board. That was easy. And the thing is, it lures you in by being like, ha ha ha, he ha ha. It's a funny comedy, and then like has like a deeper meaning like underneath it, and like actually has a soul to the movie, which is one of those things that you like. The thing is, like, we should all know what it's doing at this point with these types of movies. But you know what? I'm gonna keep getting sucked in. I'll keep being fed the same exact stuff, and I won't be upset about it. Like, that's called knowing your audience. December 10th. We're back to the weekend. It's a Saturday night. So we are having a Princess Switch marathon. And if you are my friend out there who knows that we should have been having a Princess Switch marathon for about to be a year now, and we still haven't gotten to the third movie, I just have to take a moment of silence, because I swear, if I get through this holiday season and I do not watch all 3 Princess Switch movies starring Vanessa Hudgens, I will rage. And by that, I mean, I will watch the third movie by myself. And yes, that is a threat to everyone who says that we're all going to watch the movie together. So let's get it together. Sunday. So it's like we're gonna hit it with the Princess Switch. We're going Vanessa Hudgens, and then, you know what, guys? It does not matter what religion you are. It does not matter if you're atheist. I want you to sit down on this Sunday night, December 11th, and pop on the Veggie Tales, the toy that saved Christmas. Because let me tell you, when you got a bunch of vegetables with no arms, and you're like, wait a second, why is this toy saving Christmas? And then you realize that the toy is the only one that has arms. Yeah, the movie kind of seems to make a little bit more sense. But also, like, whenever I watch VeggieTales, I just think about the peas carrying boxes, and I'm like, how are you carrying this box? Like, you're not even like a cucumber. Like, you don't even got like lumps to like pretend like you have something to carry that box with. And here's the thing, I'm not dogging out VeggieTales. I would never. Like, who remembers? Here's the thing, I don't even think you need to be religious to watch VeggieTales because it's just funny at the end of the day. And I'm saying that because I wasn't doing research for the podcast, but I was like, oh, I just want to check to make sure I didn't make this up. And then I came across the episode where all of the vegetables have to work in the chocolate factory making chocolate bunnies. And there was the bunny song. I feel like everyone should know the bunny song, even if you never saw VeggieTales. I don't know why, but I'm just like, the bunny, the bunny, ooh, it's the bunny. Like, who remembers that giant cucumber singing in the lowest baritone about eating chocolate bunnies? Like that, like I was scared of him as a child. Like VeggieTales, they taught me so many lessons. So December 12th, we went a little bit mellow. So like we gotta amp it up because the 13th we're doing something special. So December 12th, we're watching The Nightmare Before Christmas. You gotta get a little bit of the Oogie Boogie, you gotta get a little bit of Santa. And you know what? Who doesn't love something that also has a little bit of Halloween? If you say the word Halloween, I am there immediately. So it's like you say The Nightmare Before Christmas, and I'm thinking of the opening song, This Is Halloween. Yeah, I'm on board. We're watching. Let's go right now. December 13th. And because December 13th is the spookiest day in September, what movie are we watching? Krampus. Yes, you heard me correctly. I said Krampus. The opposite of Santa Claus. He like comes from hell and he like, I don't know, he rides like demon dogs or something. And then he like, instead of like leaving you cold, he like drags you down to hell. Or in the one movie, he like puts you inside a snow globe in his home. But he like shoves you in his giant red bag. And I can't think of anything worse than like, first of all, an ugly Santa coming in who definitely needs a manicure and then shoving me into a red bag filled with other people who are definitely sweaty and crying. And then I have to go live inside a snow globe? Bro, just kill me. Like, I can't tell you what sounds worse. So December 13th, let's watch Krampus and be like, would I rather would I rather be dead or would I rather have Krampus take me to hell? And because Krampus is a horror Christmas film, I thought that we should do something a little bit more mellow on the 14th. And honestly, I can't even believe that this movie made my list because I haven't seen it since the last time I saw it. And that is the stupidest sentence I've ever said. But I haven't seen that movie since the last time I saw that. And by that, I mean, I was a small child, like between the age of 8 and 12. I don't think I like this movie. Like, I think it's like the gnocchi situation where I think I like gnocchi and then I start eating gnocchi and then I was like, oh, wait, no, I hate this. Why did I order this? But like, I order it like 8 times and I still haven't realized that I don't like it. I feel like that's how I feel about Babes in Toyland. I definitely have seen it once. Maybe I've seen it twice. But there's something about it I can't remember. But when I think about the movie, it makes me sick inside, which is why I couldn't look up the trailer to be like, let's do a refresher because I can tell you what Babes in Toyland is about, but I just know that there's something kind of dark about it that is telling me to stay far away. But it made the watch list. We're not talking, okay, and sorry, let me be very specific. This Babes in Toyland, this is a live action one. So if you find one and you're like, this is a cartoon, yeah, that's not the one I'm talking about. I'm talking about the one that was made in like 1970 that is live action. And I feel like it is just some of the spookiest shit out there. December 15th, we were 10 days before Christmas. So you know what? We got to reset for these last 10 days. And we are going to start by doing a Maya and Miguel Christmas special. Who remembers Maya and Miguel from PBS? It's Maya and Miguel. Whatever do next, you never can tell. They were twins. You know what? They're probably part of the reason why, like, I've just went through my entire life wishing for a twin because I'm like, I just want like a sidekick. And it's not like they're my sidekick. I'm also their sidekick. Like, we're each other's sidekicks in the moment. And it's like, but we're also both main characters. But Maya and Miguel, you're going to watch the Christmas special. It's called Miguel's Wonderful Life. It's a riff, obviously, off of It's a Wonderful Life. And it's where Miguel's like, I wish I wasn't a twin. And then he like wakes up on Christmas and he's not a twin, but his life is super terrible because he's like, oh my God. And he realized like all the things that like Maya did for him or all the things that were special about being a twin. And then he's like, I just want her back. And then obviously like everything comes back to normal, but it's like, you gotta go watch this because it hits different. And you're like, twinology. December 16th, it's like, we got to get in there now. Like, we need to get into the Christmas spirit. And what is best to get us in the Christmas spirit? The Polar Express movie. You are going to have a hot chocolate bar this night. You can spike the hot chocolate. You can dress it up with marshmallows, whipped cream, sprinkles. But like, we are going hard because you know, if you are watching the Polar Express movie, you are going to be hearing the hot chocolate song. Tom Hanks has done a lot of good work, but that hot chocolate song, like, forget Toy Story. It's like, would you rather be able to have Toy Story Tom Hanks or Polar Express Tom Hanks? I have to say, I'm going to have, and the thing is, it's like if we don't have the first Toy Story, do we then have Toy Story 2, which is one of my favorite movies? And even when I think about all of that, I've never seen Toy Story 3. I think there was a Toy Story 4, but I just like, if we're not living with Andy, I'm not interested. So I'm just kind of over here and I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, like, what would be my choice? Polar Express, because the hot chocolate song, it hits too hard. I love that like ghost hobo on top of the train. I love going through like Santa's village. It's just like that book hits, that movie hits. I'd have to choose Polar Express. December 17th. That is another Saturday. And we are going to be having a Home Alone marathon. And by that, that means that you will be watching the first Home Alone movie and Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, the edited version that takes out the Cheeto. You will not be watching any other Home Alone versions because they are not part of this universe. They are not Macaulay Culkin. We are not interested. We are talking about the first two Home Alones, same villains, like that is like the antics. December 18th, that Sunday night, you are leading up the week to Christmas. You're going to get on Disney Plus. You're going to find The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. And you're going to watch Christmas at the Tipton, that iconic episode where London learns the power of a homemade gift, where Maddie remembers that diamonds and money, they aren't the gifts that we truly love. It's the friendships we make that matter the most. Cody has to come to terms with the fact that his parents are not getting back together. Zach is just pissed because his vacation's getting canceled. Like, tell me this Christmas special is not everything that embodies Christmas. Christmas at the Tipton. And tell me we all wish we didn't live in the Tipton. Like, tell me something I don't know. December 19th. Now, this is something, if anybody knows this Christmas special, I will be absolutely shocked. So December 19th, you will be watching a Christmas special called Annabelle's Wish. And you're like, I've never heard of that. Okay, let me tell you. Annabelle's Wish, and this movie, like, this used to get to me as a child. This is probably why I like have like farm trauma, and I'm like, I don't want to be near our farm. Annabelle's Wish is about this cow that's born, and all she wants is to be a reindeer. And Santa, as busy as he is on Christmas, he comes down to this farm and he sprinkles some magic dust, and all of the animals for that one night, they can talk and they ask Santa for gifts for that year. And Annabelle, she's like, I just want to be a reindeer. And Santa's just like, okay, well, like, you're a cow though. So she like has them tie this like deer antler to her head. And she's like, I'm a reindeer. And then there's this whole plot line about the little boy who lives on the property who like went deaf in the fire. And his rich aunt comes in and is like, I'm gonna take you to the city. Like, you shouldn't be living on a farm. You should be living in the city where you can have better resources. And his like grandpa's like, no, we like him here. And then the cow's like, I do want to be a reindeer, but this kind of seems important because this boy is my friend. So then Santa comes back a year later. I can't believe they literally do a time jump and like a 45-minute Christmas special. And Santa's like, Annabelle, is it still your wish to be a reindeer? And she's like, yes, but I do have to use my wish so that the little boy can hear again. Annabelle, what? I think the little boy was fine. So Annabelle uses her wish and the little boy gets his hearing back, and now he doesn't have to leave the farm. And then Santa still lets her become a reindeer. I say that because I can't remember how it ends. But I want you to sit down. I want you to make it through the journey that is Annabelle's wish. Because once you watch it, you won't forget it. You might forget the ending, but you will not ever forget about the cow that wanted to be a reindeer. December 20th, we are watching The First Christmas. And if I were to explain this movie to you in 5 words, I would say blind boy healed by snowflakes. Does anybody else remember this? It's about a little boy and he's like blind, and it's not the little drummer boy, it's a different boy. I think he like holds a goat or something, or maybe he's holding a sheep, and he's blind. And then, or maybe it's like there was like a flash of light from an angel and he like went blind, and then snowflakes fall on his eyes on Christmas, like just as the sun is rising. And when the snowflakes melt on his eyes and his eyelashes, he opens them and now he is no longer blind. Oh my gosh, I should have started by letting you know that this is a claymation movie. This is a part of that series, like A Year Without Santa. Yeah, same creator did The First Christmas, about the little boy who got blinded by the snowflakes. Oh, sorry, the little blind boy who was healed by the snowflakes. Yeah. That one hits different too. Like, we're doing the week of Christmas, like we're doing heart shots only. And because we're doing because we're doing heart shots only, December 21st, we got to get in there with some Shaun the Sheep. Who remembers the sheep? Shaun the Sheep, he had a Christmas special called We Wish You a Merry Christmas. And you know the U is spelled EWE, like a female sheep. That wasn't that funny. I don't know why I laughed. It really wasn't that funny. But Shaun the Sheep, now that sheep, he knew how to do comedy. I don't even remember him talking. I feel like all of his comedy was facial and physical. And I'm saying this as if he was a not claymation sheep. There's a lot of claymation in this list, and I will not be ashamed, because if there's one time for claymation, it's Christmas time. Wallace and Gromit would have made the list, but they don't have a Christmas special. Waste, if you ask me. It's not too late. But Shaun the Sheep, you're gonna watch We Wish You a Merry Christmas. You know that little sheep that's in there, that little troublemaker sheep? I don't know his name, but he's always making little trouble. He's definitely in there. He always messed up Christmas. He always messes everything up. He's the Princess Peach of Shaun the Sheep. And that's the truth of the matter. December 22nd, we are watching A Year Without Santa. We all remember this one. Santa's like, I'm out of here. I don't want to do this anymore. And then you got Heat Miser and Snow Miser, and they're like, well, I'll be the new Santa. And the other one's like, well, I'll be a new Santa. And it's like, one, neither of you are Santa. One of you controls fire, and the other one controls ice. And like, you're both greedy for power. But like, also, which one would you smash? Which one would you smash and which one would you pass? Like, you have to pick. I need to think on that. I need to think on it. I'll come back around. I'll make that the poll for today. Smash or pass, Heat Miser and Snow Miser, because I just want to know. That's a good one. And I'm pretty sure Santa does end up showing up at the end. He's like, oh yeah, sorry guys, like I was in the mood, but like I'm here. I'll go deliver the presents. Like, thanks, dude. December 23rd. Now, this is another one. If you've seen this, I am absolutely shocked. But this is one of my like, if you told me I could only watch 3 Christmas movies for the rest of my life, I would choose Polar Express, The First Santa Claus, and The Tangerine Bear. And that's what we're going to talk about right now. I have to take a deep breath because The Tangerine Bear, it is an emotional journey. It is about a bear who gets his mouth sewn on upside down. And then they put all the shelves, they put all the bears on the shelves for Christmas, and everyone comes by, and the bears are like sentient and they move, but like not when people are moving. It's like a Toy Story situation. Like they only move if the people are not around. And so the Tangerine Bear, he's just sitting there watching all of his friends getting picked every single day. And he's alone. And eventually he gets thrown in the bargain bin. And then he gets sent to like a reject store, and he like meets a mermaid clock and like all of these hybrid toys, and they're like, yeah, we're all rejects. And his entire life he like tries to fix his frown, like he tries to use his paws to like shove his frown like upwards so it looks like he's smiling, so like someone will want to take him home. Oh my god, I'm getting so emotional talking about it because I'm like, what if I was that bear? What if my mouth had been sewn on upside down and no one wanted me because my mouth was sewn on upside down? I feel like this is the equivalent of when I was crying over Tall Girl, but it like genuinely makes me emotional because like this bear just wants love, and like no one will love him because his mouth is sewn on upside down. And then like Santa's like, oh, I'm gonna take all the presents to this like charity drive to give to the kids, and this bear's so excited. He's like, someone will love me there. And then while he's like in the red cart being pulled through the snow, he falls, and now he's just left in the snow in winter on Christmas Eve. And he's like, am I ever gonna have a home? Is anyone ever gonna love me? And I'm like, oh my god, someone find him. And then the owner dressed up as Santa. He wasn't dressed as Santa when he left. As he's coming back towards the store, he's like, I found you. He's like, there you are, guy. And the guy's like, the Tangerine Bear. He's like, oh my God. He's like, Santa found me. He was like, Santa is going to take me to a child who wants me. He was like, this is what I've been waiting for. And then where does Santa take him? Back to the reject store, because the man in the Santa suit is the man who owns the store. The Tangerine Bear, he's heartbroken. He's like, I'll never find love. And then he goes back, and all of his like reject friends, they're like, you're back. They were like, we thought you were lost. They were like, we were so worried. They were like, we love you. And he's like, wait, you love me? He's like, but my mouth is sewn on upside down. And they're like, we love you because your mouth is sewn on upside down. Dang, that'll get you right in the Christmas heart. Does me. All right. Sucking it back in. December 24th, we are watching 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, because what else are we going to watch? Who remembers this? This is Fievel at Christmas if Fievel wasn't Jewish. Who remembers that sneaky little mouse who wrote that letter to Santa saying that he wasn't real and wasn't important? And I love how there's like human Santa and then mouse Santa, and they all live in the same place and they like travel together. Like, that's funny. Like, that is really funny. But this little mouse, this little mouse, like Stuart Little would never. This mouse, he writes this letter being all like, Santa's not real. He's not even important. And Santa's like, oh, I'm not real. I'm not important. He was like, fine. Christmas is canceled. He's like, have a nice life. And then everyone's heartbroken. And his dad is like, we fix clocks. He was like, we don't break spirits. So this mouse dad, he's like, you want to see what you did? He was like, you want to see what happens when you ruin Christmas? So he takes him, this mouse father, he takes his mouse son to the children's hospital, not the mouse children's hospital, the children's hospital. And he's like, look at all these sick kids. Some of them are even orphans. He was like, some of them can't walk. He was like, and what did you do? He was like, you took the simple pleasure of Christmas from them. He was like, the kids who don't have parents, this is how they get Christmas presents, because Santa comes. He's like, are you proud of yourself, son, for ruining Christmas for these kids? So then this little mouse, this mouse son, he's like, oh, I messed up. He was like, how do I fix this? And he like writes another letter. He's like, Santa forgiveness? And Santa's like, LOL, no. He's like, you thought. He was like, he's like pulling like the when will you learn? Like, your actions have consequences. So this mouse is like, how do I get Christmas back for everyone? So he's like, okay, the clock tower is broken. I'm pretty sure I broke it. Like, I'm just wrecking everything. I'm wrecking this family's livelihood. I wrecked Christmas for the world. He was like, I'll go fix this clock. So he starts reading these books. He's like, I'm going to become a clock expert. And then he gets all up in this giant, like, it's literally like the Tower of London. The giant clock in London. Like, it's literally a massive clock. And this mouse, he's just like tinkering. He's bopping all around inside there. And he's like got a little screwdriver. And he's like, if I can fix a clock and make it play the most like litty Christmas song, Santa, he will forgive us. Like, Santa, he can be a forgiving man. He was like, I just have to impress him with some music. Did Rick and Morty steal the Let's Get Swifty episode from Twas the Night Before Christmas? So he's like, if I fix the clock, if I get this music going, he was like, Santa will forgive. So he's like tinkering around. At the last minute, his dad shows up, the mouse dad, and he's like, what do you think you're doing? He was like, you just here to wreck more stuff? He was like, haven't you done enough? And the son is like, no, dad, like, look, makes it click midnight. Song goes off. It's a hit. It's a straight bop. Carol of the Bells, if you please. And what does Santa do? Santa's like, oh, what's that here? He's like, oh, he's like bopping his head a little bit. He's like, now that's a song. He was like, I think I could get behind this. I think I could be there for this. And you know what? Christmas is back on. So those kids in that hospital, do they get presents that year? You bet they do. Happily ever after. Like, what a way to feel the night before Christmas. And then December 25th, you know, you spent the morning opening presents, you played with stuff, you chilled, you spent time with family, you have Christmas dinner. It's the end of the night. Like, let's calm down from the day with one quick little flick before we all head off to bed. And what are we watching? None other than A Charlie Brown Christmas. Because we're going to start on a classic, Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer, and we're going to end on a classic, Charlie Brown Christmas. Because who doesn't love that little Charlie Brown tree? Throw a little scarf around it. Like, I love that little baby. Linus, you know, you watch Linus for years in these cartoons and you're like, you're just this little whiny boy with this blanket. But then he gets up on this stage and you're like, okay, it all paid off. You made the name Linus worth it. Now that is the journey for this Christmas season. Watch as many movies as you can. Watch even all of the Christmas movies, even the ones not on this list. But the ones on this list, like, this is a must see. Like, you will not be disappointed. You will not miss out. Whew. So that is all that I have for today's episodes. Next week, we'll get back into our more regularly defined programming. I've got some good stuff coming. Pretty funny. We're going to talk about things I'm scared of, like moving things. Yeah, like I'm honestly, it's kind of coming down, like, if it moves and it's like not a human, but sometimes even if it is a human, like if it's an animal, like I'm probably scared. Like, I was scared of cats until I like literally owned a cat, and then I was like, well, I don't really have the option to be scared anymore. So thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this watch list. I hope you take a watch. You know what? If it comes down to it, if you're really like screw this list. I'm not going to do any of this. If there's 2 movies I am telling you that you need to take the time to watch, it would be Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. Because, like, it's just too fun. Like, saying it just, like, saying it makes me laugh. Watching it makes me laugh. That grandma is so sassy. And that's the other part you have to watch it for. Is like, she has the sass of every old grandma. And I hope that I have her essence one day. If you're going to watch anything, watch Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer and The Tangerine Bear. Because Tangerine Bear, that movie will forever live inside of my heart in a tiny little snow globe, just constantly playing on replay. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I hope it made you smile. I hope you laughed. And I actually have a really amazing announcement. We're on episode 10, and the website for Dear Alienz is officially launched. You can definitely find it if you're on Spotify or wherever you find the podcast. If you go down below, you should be able to find the link to the website in the description. So thank you all so much for tuning out to find out So thank you all so much for tuning in to find out what makes me want to get beamed up. And if you're listening up there, my address is 123 Elf Road, North Pole, 88888.